All right, so what we have, ¿cuántos años? 2014. So this is a 2014 Hyundai Equiss 5.0 liter, gorgeous car. The problem was there's enough of an air leak with these front air shocks that it will go up in the front and it will start to settle back down, and it'll get to a certain point and then the air leak will stop. So we had to change these front shocks out. So we put new front shocks and stuff in. Pretty easy job, nothing too hard about that. The problem is when you get to the computer work to reset and recalibrate everything. The only way that I've been able to find this to work so far for me without any training or anything at all, and you know, some of you probably gonna say I did it wrong, but I'm just trying to help you guys if you guys ever get into this situation. Right here, there's an air suspension port. Right there. And it's a center filled or center spring loaded port. And what I do is I just take a just regular metal blowgun, put that right down in the center. You feel the spring pressing in right there, and I just pull the trigger and I hold it. And what I do after I install these new air springs, I'm sure I found my problem, is actually go over here. Here, just here. Is you can do it yourself, but I like using somebody else so I can focus on the computer portion. So I'll go to the ECS, the electronic control suspension. I was reading online and there's like 1,000 different things people were saying. You got to go to the dealer, you got to put it on a filling station, you got to do this, you got to do that. I said, nah. We're going to learn how to do it ourselves. We don't sublet work out, so if we don't need to anyway. So I went to the ECS, I go to special functions, air filling and venting setup. And then it gives you these options, right? Ignition on, engine stop, fix and raise the vehicle, equip all filling. So raise the vehicle where there's no pressure on the tires at all 4 wheels. When settled, go to the menu, go to fill air springs. You can read all this if you want, not necessary. Go to menu, and it says fill front left, fill front right, fill left rear, fill right rear. And you'll click on each one of them, and you'll let them go through the process of filling. It'll go and then you'll hear when the air stops filling the reservoirs on the air springs. And then when it's done, you're going to let the vehicle back down on all 4 tires. I back out of the system completely, back out of the system, and then I don't know why, but this seems to work the best for me. I do this, it's probably not necessary. Auto detected configuration, ESC only. And I go through key on, I go through and I do the auto configuration. I let it reset itself, and then when it's done, it'll say key off. So you go ahead and key off, you wait 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, you key back on, you hit OK, and then it says auto configuration reset complete. Once that's done, you can check your system air pressure. Your system air pressure needs to be between 93 and 122 bar. So if I go to check system air pressure here, then I go to menu, air pressure check, hit OK, and it'll go through and it'll test and it'll tell me what the system pressure is right now. While you're filling those air springs, 98 bar is where we're at right now. So we're between the 93 and 122, no problem. So we know we got enough pressure to start our height calibration. We hit OK, we back out, cancel, height sensor reset calibration, and it's going to tell you right on here, no DT except 1620 may be set in the system. That's normal though. You erase it, you're fine. If it can't be completed, you're going to get a 1620 code. And if there's only a 1620 code only in the system when you're done, typically you just didn't do something correct, or you didn't have enough pressure in the tank. You can go back and try it again and it will go through and the 1620 code will clear. So at this point, we know we got 98 bar. It says air mass 93 to 122 bar. Barrel, whatever. I don't even know. They say bar, they say bar. But anyway, the instructions are what's important here. And then you go through and you say okay. So you go okay, and it starts doing its test. If you don't make it to this screen, you probably don't have enough pressure in your system yet, and you got to go back and do your filling process all over again. So now it will go through and it'll calibrate, raise up, and it will raise down. The key is on. I think we got to go through and reconnect with the computer again. It says security access not granted. I'm going to reset the system. He's going to go back inside real quick. Now, this is the part where when you're done filling everything, it says after ignition key off, wait 10 seconds. It's off. Okay, go back on. Good? On. System initialization. Good. Now we're gonna go to. I'm gonna try this again. There we go. There it is. It's lowering. Let me try it with the vehicle on. Where's the battery at in this? In the trunk? All right, turn the key off. On. Do I have to do this again? Reset this thing again? This is literally what you got to go through for this thing. Off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On. Complete. Well, you know what? Let me check my system air pressure. That's probably why it's going on. No, it's fine. Finish service mode. Get out of there, go back to the menu. There it is. Went up. I gotta take it out of service mode. And it's gonna ask you where do you want it. It says left front 392, right front 392, left rear. And you know what? It's up to you on kind of what you want to do. You can move it to 390, 392. I wanted the front to be up a little bit because I seen a customer scraping a little in the front. Sometimes probably when it was low, so I just left it at 392 in the front, 390 in the rear. 390 is normal in the rear, so I hit OK. It writes the 392 millimeters. And what it is if you actually measure from the center cap here to the wheel lip or the fender lip here, it's like 15 and a half, 15 and 3/4 inches. And when you break it down by millimeters, 392, 393, 394 in there. And then it says calibration complete. And that's how you do this. This is how I'm glad I got to show you guys a real life scenario just now on how it can act up. And you have to go back and reset it. Then you have to go back and take it at finish service mode again. And it's a process, but this is what you got to do to get this thing back up and rolling and back on the road. And I learned this on my own. So, okay, I just wanted to share that with you guys on these. It's just so you guys can see it's a V8 5.0 And it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the back of this car. This car is absolutely stunning. Such a beautiful car. Anyway, like I said, I'm teaching myself as I'm doing this. Nobody's ever showed me how to do this. I just kind of figured this out on my own. I figure as I'm learning stuff or whatever, I'll share it with you guys, and then maybe you guys can learn it too. But that was how I figured out how to calibrate the air suspension on those Hyundai Equisses. And when I was like looking online, trying to educate myself on all this, at first it was like, what do you do? Everybody was like, oh, you got to go to a Hyundai dealer and you got to have special software and you got to be like Hyundai Genesis or Equiss trained. And I was like, man, I ain't got time for all that, man. I really don't. I want to try to learn this myself. And for about 2.5 hours, I looked at the system, I studied the system, and I was like, huh. Sometimes I got to reset and recalibrate the system in order to get to the height calibration. But then other times I have to go in and check to make sure I got enough air pressure to be in the calibration and then finish service mode in order to take me out of a category so I can calibrate the height. But that's that. I wanted to share it with you guys. Be blessed.